All right, we are live. Welcome to watching this. Welcome live if you're here with me right now. Also, you're very welcome if you're watching the recording. If this is not a good time for you to be here with me live, enjoy the recording. I'm Julian Rabi, career coach for remote jobs. And today we're going to talk about a very important topic. I named it 95% of senior professionals forget to do at least one of those five things when they are considering a more flexible job. So I'm inspired by mistakes that I see excellent professionals out there making. And how do I know that? Because I'm a career coach, right? So on a daily basis, I have conversation with people who want to improve their career, to land a better job, to go remote, right? To start working remotely, to have a more flexible life that suits their needs, the lifestyle they want to live, and all of that. So I know that those mistakes happen because people who approach me, they share that with me. So I've seen them happening way too many times, and I know they will probably keep happening. So I just want to bring awareness to those common mistakes and help you to overcome them. So in other ways, we won't talk only about the the things that people normally forget when they are trying to land a flexible job, but also what you can do to overcome that situation. That's the most important part, actually, right? You are aware of the problem, the situation that is common among job seekers, but you also be aware after this presentation how to handle that, how to make the most of the situation and avoid those mistakes. Okay. I would love to hear if you are connected live, if the sound is okay, if the image is okay. There's a lot of technical things I need to do from my side here. So please say hi, say an okay in the chat to let me know if you can hear me well, if you can read me well, both if you are on LinkedIn or also on YouTube. Okay. I'd love to read your comment if you're live with me, just to make sure that the technical part is working fine, because sometimes I'm here speaking and then the transmission is not working properly. In any case, it's going to be recorded. So if you missed a part of it, or if you need to leave earlier, it's going to be recorded. But if you're live, just please let me know in the chat if everything is okay, if the sound, the image, and then I'll keep going here. So today we're going to talk about what 96% of senior professionals forget to do. Um, it's mainly one of those five things that I'm going to share here when they are considering a more flexible job. Okay, so you need to know about those mistakes. So from now on, you won't make those mistakes anymore, because you know that they are common. You might be trapped, you might do them, but once you are aware of those mistakes, you have more tools to avoid them and to start acting differently. Because at the end of the day, um, in my experience at least, job searching is not fun, right? So people don't like to spend time on job searching. They like what comes as a consequence of the job searching, which is landing a new job, making more money, working in a company where they can grow, have fun with their work colleagues, be able to live the lifestyle that they want to live. This is what is great, what is on the other side of the job search. So if we can optimize the job searching, right? If we can do better uh, in a smaller period of time and achieve better results, it's even better. So that's exactly what I want to help you to do here today. So once again, if you are live, just say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're connecting from also, and just confirm if the sound is okay. And then, yeah, and then I will start here, but keep the comments coming. If you want to ask me any question, if you want to say something in the chat, if you have any comment about the content, about this topic in general, just say hi in the chat. Okay, so I'll know that you are yeah, you're there, you're participating, and I'll be able to answer your questions if you have any. Okay. All right, so let me share my screen here. Yes. So 96% of the senior professionals forget to do at least one of those five things when considering a remote job. So let me put it like this. Yes, bigger, easier for everyone to see that. All right, let's start with the presentation I prepared for you. So, if you're watching this, I probably get what is going on from your side. I mean, I'm guessing, right? But based on my experience, as I said, I talk to job seekers every day. So I get that a lot of them, they are very busy at work. Of course, some of them are not working at the moment, but the ones that are working, they are normally very busy when they approach me, when they consider help to land a new job, and also they have family obligations, right? When they finish work, they have younger kids, they have teenagers, they have, a spouse, or they have family things to take care of. And also on the top of all of that, they still need to find time to handle all those things outside of work. So normally people who approach me, they are very busy with work, outside of work, and something that they don't have much is time. So their time is limited. Their time needs to be used in the best way as possible because they are already struggling with the the amount of things they have in their agenda. So is that your case also? Do you recognize yourself on it? Let me know in the chat if you're also a busy professional, not only a professional but a person, because outside of work you're also busy. Let me know if this is you. And then when people come talk to me about their career, most of the times they are not happy with their current job. There is something that is not, clicking anymore. They are not happy. Maybe the management changed. Maybe they don't have a salary raise for years. Maybe the work environment, the company's culture change. So most of the time when they come talk to me, they are not happy with their current job. And then I don't need a crystal ball. This is the photo of a crystal ball, right? I don't need that actually to imagine, to kind of picture the situation and see that there is no growth opportunities anymore in your company. So there are a lot of signs that you can identify when someone really needs a career change, when someone is not growing, is not happy, is not motivated anymore. So that job doesn't make sense anymore. And maybe it was a great job years ago when you started. That happens a lot, right? When you start in a company, you're happy, you're motivated, um, you're excited about it, and then as time passes, things change. You change. Also, that's the first thing, but also the environment changes, the management changes, the tasks you need to do. So a job that was great for you a couple of years ago might not be good anymore, and that's perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with you. It's just that the circumstance and or yourself changed. So it's time to consider also a career change, right? So let's see if this is you. Let me see if I'm describing you who is watching this live now. Um, Maybe you are decided to move your career towards having more flexibility, right? You know that flexibility is a big thing for you. This is something you care about. You are um, decided to get more flexibility at work. Also, you want to have a job that is more aligned with the lifestyle you desire. So you don't see a job only as a job, but you see it as something that will support the way you want to live, support how you organize your agenda, your schedule, the time that you have to spend with people that you love, time for your hobbies, time to study whatever you want to study. So you want a job that is much more aligned with your lifestyle and not just a job just to make money, right? Also, you are dedicated. You dedicate already too much time to work right now. You're working way too many hours, and you feel like you're sacrificing other areas of your life to do that. So the balance is not there. And I don't think there is a balance that is always stable. It moves a little bit, but you feel that most of the times you're putting way too much time and energy with work, and you're not having enough time to other areas in your life. I hear that very often from people who approach me, from amazing professionals who need a career change. And also, you might feel like the company you're working for right now is not anymore worth your time and energy. As I said, things change. So maybe it was a great job, a great company to work for, but now it's not anymore. So when all those things are happening to you, the background of your life, right? You might look amazing and go to work every day, but deep inside, you have all this situation, all this mess, all this chaos, and you realize you need a new job. It's time to change jobs, right? And then the question is, how do I do that? especially if you have been many years in the same company, in the same position. It can be overwhelming and scary, and you can feel like even paralyzed, like, what do I do to change jobs? How do I even start, right? I think a good start is avoiding the common mistakes, the ones that I mentioned, that most of people who approach me, they make those mistakes, right? So you already eliminate things and you have more chance to do the right thing. So let's start by the things that um, senior professionals often do when they are searching for a more flexible job. And once again, if you have any question, any comment, let me know in the chat, in the comments. I will read that. Let me read. There is something here in the chat. Cruise Destinations with Bonnie said, today world is moving so fast that we have always to keep our heads up, always having the ability to balance between career, personal growth, and social life. Yeah, and also the world is changing, we change, so there is a lot of change going on, right? I remember one company, for example, that I stayed for 5 years, and it was my dream job to work in that company. That was many years ago. It was my dream job when I entered there. I was learning so much. It was so exciting. I really enjoyed my work colleagues and the clients I was serving. I was a recruiter at the time, so the candidates I was interviewing, I was also enjoying a lot. I was traveling and all of that. So there were a lot of elements at the beginning that I considered my dream job. And then as time passed, things start changing. My needs as a professional started changing. And then at some point I was like, look, it doesn't make sense anymore for me to be in this job. And I had to accept that, because how did I go from I love this job to I want to leave this job? It was, for me, it was a bit contradictory, and I felt bad because it was like as if I didn't know what I wanted in my life. But later on, I realized that it was perfectly fine. After 5 years, I kind of closed my cycle in that company. There were several changes, as you mentioned, happening from the company side, but I also had change in my personal and professional life. So I started aiming for new things. I had new goals, new motivation. So it is fine if you want to change jobs, but then you need to know what to do next. So let's start checking the mistakes you should avoid making. Yeah, this slide, I don't know what happened with this slide, but I wrote here what was written on this slide was, so what are the most common things professionals forget to do when they consider a more flexible job? So yeah, apology for that. I don't know what happened. So one thing that senior professionals forget to do when they are considering a remote job is don't create a strategy to change jobs. So is this you? Like, are you also missing this strategy? So how do I know that the person doesn't have a strategy, right? When they tell me things like, look, when I have some free time between work, or when I'm just having like 5 minutes free, then I randomly apply for jobs on LinkedIn using the same old resume I have from years ago. Is that you? This is so common. I hear that way too often. Like, I casually, randomly apply for jobs when I have time, when I'm at work. I have a break or a meeting's canceled or whatever. Then I go and I jump on LinkedIn. I use the easy apply and I apply for job. Let me know if you're doing that, because this is very, very common. Also, another thing that I hear very often is I cannot find flexible jobs. Like, the ones I find very few flexible jobs, remote jobs, hybrid jobs, very few. And then, Juliana, the ones I find, I do apply for them, of course, because I just find, a handful of them. But then I never hear back from the company. So those two situations are very common. I hear them very often. Let me know in the chat if you are facing one of those situations, if you have said any of those things. And then what I can tell you is that when you don't have consistency, when you have lack of consistency, this situation, your job search won't bring good results to you at all. Okay. The casually applying for jobs, they whenever I have time, or when I'm not tired, or when a meeting is canceled and I can jump into LinkedIn for 5 minutes. This is not the way to land the job because you don't have a strategy. You're just using your spare time randomly, doing whatever you can in those 5 minutes between a call to search for jobs, and then it probably will not bring you good results at all. So instead of that, what I invite you to do is block time in your agenda upfront for the job search. This is so important. I cannot stress that more, and it changed completely my life when I started blocking time for the things that are important to me. I block time, for example, to go to the gym. I block time to call my friends when we schedule a call, right? I have friends all over the world, so I block time in my agenda to talk to them. I block time to have lunch, so I don't have a work call right at my lunchtime, or I adjust my lunchtime according to it. But blocking time to do the job search is a game changer completely. So if you're not doing that, I do recommend that you give it a try. Be realistic with the times, also the duration of the blocks, right? If you block 10 minutes, you won't be able to do much. If you block 50 minutes, either. So I recommend minimum 30 minutes, between 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but block time upfront in your agenda to dedicate exclusively to the job search. It's not to Instagram. It's not to scroll down on Instagram. It's for the job search. Prioritize it. If you block the time, it's easier for you to prioritize and say, no, now this is the time to do it for the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. And then keep track of the information all in the same place. I talk to a lot of job seekers. They're like, I applied for a job, but I don't know where the link is for the job. Maybe it's on LinkedIn. Oh, no, it's not here. Oh, I think I saved on my email, or I wrote in my notebook. So when you are dispersed with the information that you need for your job search, you're just wasting time, right? And then you might miss some key information. You might not follow up with the right people because you cannot just find who was that recruiter who contacted you 2 months ago for that position, and you want to check it out if the position is still open, whatever, but you can never find the recruiter's name because you're all messed up with the way you're tracking the information. So keep it all in one place. Can be an Excel, can be a paper notebook, can be a Word file. It doesn't matter as far as you put it all together and it's easy for you to access that. Okay. And then follow up with the people that you connect to. So connecting is not about networking, is not about numbers only, right? Oh, I connected with a lot of people from the company I want to work for, Juliana. Amazing. Nice first step. What did you do after that? Nothing. What am I supposed to do after that? Well, after that is when things start. So networking is not only about numbers, it's a numbers game also, but it's like, what do you do with the people that you are connected with? How do you take a number and turn into, this is a person that knows me, knows my value, my motivation, knows how I can collaborate with the company, knows what I'm looking for. So this person potentially can help me to make the next step in my career. So networking is important, but you need to follow up. You need to put time on it to have conversations, to get to know the person and all of that. So actually, I'm curious to know how you feel about network. It's not the main topic of my presentation today, but I'm always curious to see how people feel about networking, because a lot of them, just by hearing the name networking, feels like, oh, this is not for me. This is terrible. It doesn't work in my case. I've tried, but it's boring. It doesn't work for me. So let me know how you feel about networking. And remember that following up, putting time into connect with people is important, will make a difference. So that's all that should be part, at least should all be part of your strategy to change jobs. Okay. And then the second mistake that I see senior professionals doing very, very often is that they assume that the flexible jobs that they find, that they are applying for, that they are interviewing for, will meet their flexible needs. In other words, when they see that a job is remote, when you are searching for the job and you see remote job, and then you're like, that's it. I'm going to jump into this job. This is what I'm looking for. I read the job description and there is a match like between my profile and the requirements. So it's like, that's it. The job is remote. I like what I'm going to be doing. So that's it, right? Not necessarily. You need to walk backwards a little bit and ask yourself a few important questions. So this is a good slide to take a photo or maybe a print of the screen or write down the questions, because I think it makes a lot of sense that you answer those questions to yourself. You don't need to answer to me, but to yourself, because those questions will change completely the way you approach your flexible or remote or hybrid job search. Okay. Important questions such as what is the lifestyle that you want to have? Like, what do you really care about? How do you want to use your time? What time of the day do you want to work? From where do you want to work? What is a non-negotiable thing for you? For example, I want to pick up my kids at school. So I care about seeing my kids growing up and I want a job that supports me to do that. I care about traveling. That's my case. So I want to be able to work from anywhere because I move from country to country. So what do you really care about? Extremely important question to be asked. Also, what do you want your ideal day to look like? If you could choose, spoiler, you can. When you have a flexible job, you can. What time are you going to start working? Are you a morning person? Are you more like a afternoon person, or you feel super lazy after lunch, you want to take a long nap and then you're back to work later? um, do you want to work very early in the morning? Do you want to work in an international environment? Do you want to have direct contact with clients? Do you prefer to be in the backstage? What do you want to do with your day? Who do you want to spend time with? Where do you want to have lunch? Which kind of conversations you want to have? So identify um, what do you want to do in your ideal day will help you a lot to understand if the flexible job that you find will support you to live the day the way you want, or if it's not enough, that flexibility level is not enough. And start by answering those questions. These will really change your game, your strategy. That was the mistake before, right? If you don't have a strategy, you won't have good results in your flexible job search. But if you don't know what you really want from that job, how are you going to create a strategy that is aligned to that? So number one and number two are very connected, right? So start by answering those questions. They are going to bring you very interesting insights for you, right? And then from a practical perspective, stop assuming. Don't assume that because the job says remote, it means what you think it means. Because remote can mean so many things. Can mean you can work from one city. You need to work a few times per week from the office. You can travel. You have a fixed schedule, or you don't have a fixed schedule. You can work anytime you want. Remote doesn't mean anything, because there are different perspectives, different approach to what remote means. So stop assuming that, because you're going to get frustrated, and ask the recruiter, ask the hiring manager, check maybe the company's webpage. Sometimes they're very clear about it, the flexibility level that they offer in the job. So if it's not clear upfront, if the job description doesn't cover all those topics, if the company's page, company's website doesn't specify that, please go ahead and ask and save your time and your energy only for those jobs that offer the flexibility level that you're looking for. Okay. So, for example, some questions that you can ask, again, you can take a photo of this slide and literally bring those questions to your next interview. And you ask the same thing, like, hey, do I need to work from home, or can I work from different cities or different states? Can I work from different countries in this company? Extremely important question if you care about traveling, if you're planning a travel, if you have family on a different city. So this is a very good question to ask the recruiter before you go further into the recruitment process in the early stage, to see if it's worth your time or energy, or if it's not, if you should move to another company. Okay. Another very good question is like, am I required to go to the office ever? A couple of times per week, couple of times per month? Be clear about it, what the company expects from you when it comes to going physically to the office. And also, if this is extremely relevant nowadays, right? As some companies are asking people to go back to the office, you need to ask, is this flexible policy permanent or a temporary thing? Are we moving towards going back to the office, or we are going to stay remote in this company? And then you adjust your needs to it. You see if the the flexibility level that they offer, if it meets what you're looking for. So you understand that it's not only I trust it's going to be fine because the job said remote, the job post. Well, remote can mean so many things. So save yourself time and energy and ask those questions up front. Okay. um, as I said before, remote job, flexible job, hybrid job, Those words doesn't mean anything. You need more information to understand what they are looking for. Also regarding the working hours, regarding the working hours, the schedule, the if you're supposed to answer emails immediately or if it's more an async environment, asynchronized environment where there are people working different time zones and time of the day. So you send an email whenever they can, they answer. There are very few meetings or no meetings at all. You need to understand if it is that the remote job you're applying for, or if you're going to work from home or from anywhere in the country, or if you can travel to other countries, but you still need to meet the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, New York time. Completely different scenarios, right? I don't have a fixed schedule. I do have a fixed schedule. I need to be available for calls and meetings and answering emails. Or no, I can connect anytime I want as far as the work is done. Nobody cares if I'm working 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Totally different scenarios, and you need to understand first the options out there to see what you want, the lifestyle you want to have, and then stop assuming that the flexibility level, just because they said it's a remote job, it's going to meet your needs. Okay, so go one step further and ask and get this information. Double check that as soon as possible. Okay. Mistake number three that I see senior professionals making very often is that they, for some reason, I don't know why it happens, okay, but I know it does happen. They minimize the importance of networking, having conversations, connecting with people. And connecting is not only about numbers. I mentioned that before, right? Is what do you do after you are connected with someone? So um, when it comes to senior positions, manager, VP, senior VP, director, of this kind of position, this position level, you probably notice that most of the job offers, the opportunities, right? They are not posted on LinkedIn. They are not posted on the job boards. They exist. They are available. They will be filled up with by someone, but you not always find them posted. There are different reasons for that, right? But the fact is that it happens, and there is even a name for that. I don't know if you have heard about it, the hidden job market, right? So it refers to those positions that do exist. They are real positions. Recruiters are right now, searching for people for those jobs, but they are not posted anywhere. So this is the hidden job market, right? The opportunities that are not posted, but they do exist, and then you want to make sure that you are considered also for those positions. So one way to do that is definitely maximizing, increasing your networking. Okay, and I like to approach network from the perspective of levels or layers, right? Imagine like a onion, the cooking onion, right? There are different layers. So you can peel the onion and then you remove some part, and then there is still something inside, and you remove, there is another thing. So it's kind of, there are different layers, different levels, and I see networking in the same way, like the different layers or levels that you have in the situation. So the first layer or the first level of networking is considering the people that already know you, already trust you, they know what you do as a professional, they like you. So think about previous managers, previous work colleagues, people who went to that MBA class with you, clients that you provided eh, support, provided your services to. So people who know you already, this is your first level of networking, okay? Then the second level is the people that you want to reach out, you want to include in your network. They're not yet in your networking, but you want them to be, because they mainly working for the companies you want to work for. This is connected to knowing the companies you want to work for, the companies that offer the flexibility level that you're looking for. So it's all connected here. You cannot go to the second level of networking if you not even know which companies you want to work for. Oh, Juliana, any company, as far as the job is flexible. I'm flexible. I want a flexible job. I won't be very picky with the company. Is this good? Well, you're opening way too much the possibilities, so you won't have time to consider all the companies. It's not a good use of your time. It's a bit of a waste of time. So when you start narrowing down and figuring out which companies offer the flexibility level you want, it's much easier to go to the second level of networking, which is, by the way, extremely recommended. That's where you get referrals. That's where you know about company jobs that are not posted anywhere, but they are searching for people. So one of your connections can just say, hey, we do have a position in our department, as you want to work for our company, to send me a resume. I've seen this happening several times. So you do want to pay attention on the second level of networking. And then the third level, this is fantastic. It's like when recruiters and hiring manager, they come to you on LinkedIn mainly, and they offer you an interview, a position. They want to talk to you for a job that was not posted, a job that you never applied for, a job that you didn't know existed, but they find your profile, because you should treat your LinkedIn profile and your resume as marketing materials, right? They are there to attract people's attention, show your, showcase your skills, your everything you can do for the company. So it will be clear that first they will find you, and second that there is a match, a direct connection between what they're looking for and what your profile says. So you start attracting like a magnet. You start attracting the right recruiters, the right companies, the right hiring manager. It's amazing. I feel so happy when my clients say, hey, Juliana, I was, approached by a recruiter on LinkedIn and I didn't do anything. And I don't even know the person. I was not connected. I didn't apply for the job. How amazing is that? Very amazing. Even more amazing when you can leverage the first level of networking, like people who knows you already, the second level, the ones you're proactively going and connecting with, and on the top of that, you have recruiters and hiring managers and headhunters, hiring managers and headhunters approaching you also on LinkedIn with interview invitations and job offers. The more you can make with your networking, the better. You don't need to choose one. Go for everything. Everything is available for you. Okay. And then there's another hidden gem, something secret. I mean, it's not secret. It's just like most of job seekers don't know it exists, don't know it's an option for them, and feel like very scary to make this step. But I want to let you know, um, it's the informational interviews. So in other words, it's like when you have conversations with people online, can also be in person, right? But it can perfectly be over Zoom, over WhatsApp, over meetings, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just that you're talking to people that you want to talk to, because whether they are working in the flexible companies you want to work for, maybe they're doing the exactly job you want to do, and they have a higher flexibility level. So it's like, how do they get there? How do they manage that? How do they get to this company? So learn from people who are a few steps ahead of you in your career progress, people who are doing now what you want to do in the future. So you connect with them, you learn from them, you let them know you, so they might eventually refer you for a position in the future because they know you, and they understand what you're looking for. So when there is something that might fit your profile, they might refer you for that position. You can learn about the market, you can learn about the flexible or remote or hybrid company you want to work for. So there are so many advantages of doing informational interviews or informational coffees or informal chats over Zoom with people. And I see that most of job seekers, they totally underestimate that, especially senior professionals. I don't know why they think that people won't reply back, that, nobody will want to talk to them. Give it a try and let me know later. Like, you're going to thank me later for doing that. Definitely. Let me know in the chat if any of those mistakes resonate with you, if you were doing any of those mistakes, if it feels like I'm talking to you, like about you directly, or if this is new for you. If this is all new for you, that's also good, because then you're learning what you shouldn't do in the job search, right? But I guess, I don't know if I'm right, that a lot of people are also doing the same mistakes, because this is the feedback I get from the ones who approach me on a weekly basis. So, yes. Let's see. Let's see. Back to the presentation here. You can share the comment in the chat if you want, okay? If it resonates with you, or if you are um, very good at your job search and you're not making those mistakes. I hope so. I hope that for, I hope this is the reality for everyone who is watching this presentation and able to implement all of that very soon, okay? Still talking about the mistakes and the things that senior professionals forget to do very, very often is don't create a company list. I mentioned that briefly before. It's like um, you need to know which companies out there today in the market offer the flexibility level you're looking for, because this is going to help your job search to achieve better results. You're going to narrow down your search. You're going to narrow down the conversations you have. You're going to narrow down the number of jobs you apply for, and you go directly to the ones that, those companies I know that they offer the flexibility level that I'm looking for. So you focus more time and energy into those companies. So my question to you is, do you understand now this concept, what I'm talking about your the top 15 and 20 companies that you want to work for? Do you understand how you do that? Um, if you have no idea because you're just starting the job search, you're like, Julian, I have no idea which companies offer remote jobs, which companies offer hybrid jobs. It's fine. Uh, Nobody knew it at the beginning, probably, or knew just a few of them. So you want to expand your knowledge about it to give you more tools to work on your remote job search, or hybrid job search, or flexible job search in general. So it's okay if you don't know those companies yet, but put as a target to have this list 15 to 20 companies, because that's going to help you a lot to have the strategy that I mentioned before and do the right things with your time doing the job search. So the invitation here is for you to map, like create a map of those companies, or do like a detective work and figure it out, find out those companies out there. But remember, you need to find companies that offer the flexibility level you're looking for. So it's not any remote company, any hybrid company. It gotta be the one that offers the flexibility level you figured it out that you need before. We spoke about it before, right? So once you know it, go only for companies who allow you to live like that, right? Also, that offer the kind of job and position that you're looking for. Maybe the company is amazing, but they just offer very junior positions that are not related to your profile, to your expertise, to your level of experience and all of that. Or maybe it's a great company, but they are, I don't know, only into tech, into IT, and you're not searching for jobs in the IT area, for example. So it gotta be an alignment between the flexibility level that you're looking for and the company's offering, and that company has at least the department you'd like to work for, right? And then once you identified all of that, once you mapped all of that, then you can start approaching people working in those companies, having conversations with them, understanding how that works, and all of that. So let me remove this banner here because it covered one important thing. Yes, I want you to read that. The last phrase I wrote in this slide. If you actually apply for the job, it shouldn't be the first time that the company hears from you. When I say the company, I mean the recruiter, the hiring manager, someone working in the same department that you want to work for. So mapping companies you want to work for, companies that offer the flexibility level you're looking for, will help you in so many ways. And one of these ways is flexibility. You start interacting, you start getting visibility to people working in that company. So when they see that you applied for the job, it's just like, oh, that's Juliana. Nice that she applied for the job. It feels almost like natural because they knew you're capable of doing the job. You were maybe even talking about the job already, and then you apply. It's just like, yeah, let's go for a formal interview. Let's just move on because it makes a lot of sense that this person applies for this specific job. So, yeah, creating a company list is very, very recommended when you're searching for a flexible job, especially if you're a senior professional and want to save time in the process. Some ways to help you to create that in case you don't have your dream company list yet, or if you have one but it's very small, you want to expand it, also very recommended. So some ways to do that, okay, to help you to make this happen actually. You can check remote job boards, like job postings, job boards where only remote positions are posted, remote or hybrid. And you can also check LinkedIn, and then you search for jobs there and you see the companies that are offering those jobs. So you shift a bit the focus from, I'm going to find a job and apply for it. I mean, you can also do that. But when you are still creating a company list, you just want to figure it out which companies out there offer remote or hybrid jobs, and which ones you connect more, which companies you would add in your list of, I would love to work for this company. So you need to map that cultural fit. You like the product, you like the way they write things on their website, you like the people who work there. So figure it out which are those companies. And one way is where the jobs are posted, right? On LinkedIn, on different job boards. Start following those companies. And when I say follow, I mean follow on LinkedIn. You click on the follow button, but I mean more things than that. Attend maybe online webinars that this company offers. Register for their newsletter if they have one. Um, Follow closely the people in this company that is active on LinkedIn. Some people, they post often, they write articles, they share videos. We start following them, start connecting, engaging with them. So it's not just follow on LinkedIn and that's it. It's get as close as possible from the company you want to work for. And then you can start targeting people who already work in this company. And remember the informational interviews that I mentioned before, you can start doing that, chatting with those people, having conversation. Hey, let's go for a 15 minutes conversation call on Zoom, right? And learn and show yourself and be more familiar with the company projects, how they work and all of that. Ideally, you want to talk mainly with the ones doing the same job that you're doing at the moment. So your future work colleagues, if you get hired by that company, and one step above. So the hiring manager, the person that will have a big saying into hiring you or hiring someone else for the job. So more than focusing on recruiters that are normally very busy with recruiting people and they won't have time to just talk to you for 15 minutes if you're not, applying for a position with them, if you don't meet the requirements right now. But people working in your future department, doing the same job that you're doing, or one level above, they will most likely be open. There are more chances that they will be open to talk to you more than a recruiter. Okay, that's a very interesting way to start creating your dream company list. And then last but not least, one of the very, very common mistakes I see senior professionals making when they try to land a flexible job is that they totally totally underestimate, they minimize the different ways that LinkedIn can help them to achieve results faster. Okay. I see that in different ways. So sometimes they don't say, hey, I don't know how to use LinkedIn properly. Or I think the way I'm using LinkedIn is damaging my job. So they don't say like that, right? That would be too formal. But I see that in different ways. I see that when I see an incomplete profile. So a profile that doesn't really sell you in the best way that is possible. So you're underselling yourself because your profile is not updated, is not with the right information, is not with the best information. Another way is that I see people that are on LinkedIn, they do have a profile, maybe a good one, maybe a reasonable one, maybe a terrible one, but all they do in the platform is like scroll down, scroll down. They just, if I am in my phone, they just do it like this, that's it. They just read randomly. They take a glance. They don't do anything else. So scrolling down profiles on LinkedIn, content in your feed is not what's gonna help you to to land a new job fast. This is not enough. Oh, but I was told I need to be in the platform. Yes, but you need to be in a different way, not just scrolling down content. That's not the way to do. But a lot of senior professionals do that, and they say they don't have time or they don't know what they need to do differently, so they keep scrolling down. Stop making this, please. Then they don't engage into relevant content. And when I say relevant, it's not because you find it funny or because you like the person who posted that. It's because that content is an opportunity for you to engage with other people in your area working in remote companies. Engage with that content if you do it in a strategic, smart way, you will showcase your skills, your ability, everything that you know, all your experience. So people will read that comment, will say, wow, he really knows, she really knows what she's talking about. So engaging with content is amazing, but first we need to engage with relevant content. So which content out of everything that appears in my feed is worth my time and energy, and I can um, comment here, and that's going to help to put me on the spot of the ones looking for a professional like me, people who work in flexible companies. How can I call their attention? Writing relevant content, comments, comments in content, right? Comments in other people's content. And also you can create your own content. That's totally allowed. If nobody ever told you, I authorize you to start producing content. This is not only for, famous people, or, the CEO of a company, or someone that has been on LinkedIn for a long time. You can create content on LinkedIn, in any of the new social media that are coming up, like Threads, right? That was released today. You can create content. You have stuff to say, so talk about your experience, about projects you're in, about a book related to your area that you're reading, about experience that you learn. There's so many things that you can share, and sharing content is one of the things that will really differentiate you from other um, job seekers, because most of people don't do that. So creating content, I know it's more advanced level, I get it, but it's also a very nice way to improve the way you're using LinkedIn. Because remember, your goal is, or should be at least, that you are perceived as an specialist in your area, so people know that you're the go-to person for that specific thing or job or industry or problem, right? Then you not only are perceived by a specialist, the go-to person, but the right people see you, right? Because if the wrong people see you, like only companies that have that offer office jobs, they keep inviting me for interviews. I had a client like that yesterday. He was like, yeah, I did an interview, but then at the end they said it was an office position, I'm not interested. So you are attracting the wrong audience to your profile. So you need to get visibility to the right people. And as a consequence, therefore, headhunters and recruiters will start reaching out to you, or will reach out more often and for the right position. So those should be your goals when you're using LinkedIn. Okay. And here comes an alert. Sorry to tell you that, but if you just tell me, Julian, I have already a LinkedIn profile, I'm on the platform from time to time, I do some things there, but I don't get, approached by recruiters. I don't have interesting conversations. People don't accept my connection requests and all of that. It's time to review your things, the way you're doing things, the way you use the platform, what you're prioritizing, what you're not doing in the platform. So, um, yeah, it's like you need to know everything you can get from the platform, all those goals. They are achievable, they are completely doable for every job seeker, including yourself. So if you're not getting even close to those results, there is something wrong with the way you are using the platform, definitely. So alert sign here for all of us to remember that you might be making those mistakes. Um, but first, we need to know that. You need to identify if you're making the mistakes. And then once you're aware of that, that's when you can start changing, because you might be blind, completely blind. Like I didn't realize, Juliana, the mistake I was making, like that I was not paying attention enough to something that is important. So the first thing is to be aware of that, and that's when you can start changing the situation, right? Well, that's what I do for a living. I can definitely help you to achieve better results in your flexible job search. If you're looking for a remote job, a hybrid job, a job that allows you to work from home, this is what I help my clients with. That's exactly what I help them with. So if you are stuck, if you have been trying to land a more flexible job, a remote job, hybrid job, no results. If you feel that you don't have time to do it, you need a structure, you need guidance, you need someone to tell you, just do this, this, and that, instead of being like all over the place. This is what I help my clients with. So I'll be happy to chat with you, maybe schedule a call. So just, feel free to drop me a message. I will love to talk to you, to reply to your message, to understand what is going on and see if I'm the right person to help you. I might not be, but if I am, and I have helped a lot of professionals in the past years to land remote jobs, I can probably help you with that also. So don't be shy, just say hi in the chat here, drop me a private message on LinkedIn. I love talking about career. I love helping people to make better career choices and stop making these mistakes that senior professionals make very, very often. So now you know it better, and it's up to you to implement those things and start changing or keep making the same mistake. So it's up to you. I cannot force you to do that. But what I can say is that there are amazing, flexible opportunities out there that will suit your needs, your level of flexibility, and you can, claim one of them, you can get one of them, or you can just complain that things are not working out for you, that you don't know what you're doing wrong, that you're feeling lost, and all of that. So now you have more guidance, hopefully, after this presentation. And if you start watching later on in the process, it's going to be recorded. So I'm going to save the link on the event. You can watch it from the beginning. You can watch it again if you need. And I hope you can start implementing. So it's not only about the knowledge. Knowledge is important, but if you transform that into implementation, right? That's when you convert something from your brain to something that will actually change your life and help you to be happier and live the lifestyle that you want to live. Okay. I don't know if there are any questions. If someone that is live want to make any comment, share maybe the learnings, the takeaways from this presentation, or any question, any comment, let me know in the chat. We are moving towards the end of the live, but if you have any comments, any questions, just let me know and I will reply you back. So thanks for your time. I know that time is very valuable, right? And a lot of my clients, they don't have time to waste. So I really appreciate your time watching this live. And I want to tell you that there is hope out there. There are ways to save even more your time, optimize your time when you're job searching, when you are aiming for a more flexible life. There are ways to do that. I can help you with that. So be more careful and more precise in the way that you use your time. Okay. Thank you once again. I had fun. I hope you enjoyed. Also, I always like to do those lives. Yeah, for me, it's like a boost of energy. Thanks for being here live. Thanks for watching the presentation, and I'll see you next week for another live. Take care, and it's time to implement everything. Okay, bye.